I've been vocal about this as well, is that my experience of this second birth and this second pregnancy was completely different from our first one with Messiah, for a variety of different reasons. Number one, I think the biggest one was that this was our second child and our first one since I had been a full-time entrepreneur. We literally do have a 2-year-old, you know what I'm saying, that we are still, trying to be present with, who is constantly evolving, who still needs so much every day. This was our first child that we've had since the passing of my mother, right? So there was a lot of external variables around this pregnancy that it pulled on me, you know what I'm saying, quite frankly, right? So it took me away from being present, you know what I'm saying, with Sierra a lot of times during this process. And I dealt with a lot of guilt during the pregnancy because I felt like I really wasn't being present with her and really being able to connect with Sade in the womb. Like when she was pregnant with Messiah, first kid, I'm listening to music with the kid, I'm talking to the kid, I'm coming home and rubbing the stomach and, just doing all these little things to kind of prep for his arrival. But with Sade, it was a completely different experience. And like I said, I dealt with a lot of guilt. And I remember in one of our meetings that we talked to you, and you asked me, you said, how are you doing during this time? And I communicated that, right? But one of the things about it that I appreciated in that moment, and I think another reason why I dealt with so much of the guilt, is because as fathers and as men, we don't always have a lot of spaces to be able to share that, right? There is this socialization and this idea of, listen, suck that shit up. You got to protect and provide. You got to put one foot forward before the other one and just keep going. And here I am, I'm like, I hear you, but that's not, resonating with me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know from you, like, how many other fathers and men do you kind of see show up in that way, in that space, or do you not see it that often at all?
I remember that conversation vividly because you were like laying on the floor.
Yeah. I was chilling. I was like, you know what? It's one of them days where like I'm just glad to be breathing and just to be here, but I'm chilling. Don't mind me, but I'm present. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is right now. And
it was incredible because you were so honest. You were so honest, and you were vulnerable, and vulnerability is a superpower. Like I said, when we first started, I can't remember if we were recording yet or not, but people walk around and they are numb.
Right.
I'm good. Meanwhile, you are falling apart on the inside. And that doesn't mean tell everybody what your business is if that doesn't feel safe. But we can be vulnerable as a people and say, like, today is just not my day.
Right.
I'm a little low today. Right. I need some space today.
Right.
And so you were so transparent, which gave us such an honest space to work and build from, right? Ultimately, I believe that Sade got everything that she needed. She got everything that she needed. And maybe she didn't need, the music played for her in the same way because she was singing her own song.
Agreed.
And so... yes, we do see that. I think that men oftentimes, unfortunately, are socialized in a way where they used to say back in the day in the midwife and doula community, you send a man to go boil the water when a woman's having a baby. I know, right. So I don't personally believe that, right? Unless for some reason your energy is just off. And then that applies to anybody across the board. Like I definitely have sent folks out of the room. Like, why don't you just go take a walk?
Right.
So go get something to eat, right? And so, but that's different than somebody feeling like they can't be honest about where they are, right? And so I do think just with us being more open in conversations about healing, more open as a people in conversation, having more space like the space that you create to have open and honest creative conversations with men about where we are, who we are, what we're doing, dialogue in a safe space. I do think that I'm personally am seeing more folks, even at Replenish, more men coming in who are wanting to do the self-work and have wanted to do it for a long time, but maybe just didn't have the tools or know where to start, or were nervous to start because the world tells you don't need it.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. And it's even, listen, I am discovering that even amongst my closer relationships, with my friends and even with my family, with my father specifically, we have conversations like this, and it's like, dudes are ready to pour it out of them. You know what I'm saying? When we create the space for them to be able to do so.